Hi, it's Danny Valencia here with My City Nest powered by Keller Williams, and I just want to shoot this quick video to follow up from last week's Meet the Team. So today I'm here with lovely Ugo. Hi Ugo, thanks for joining me today.
Hello, Danny.
Hi there. Ugo, so I just want to bring you in and just talk a little bit more about how you got into estate agency, and I mean you're very busy when you come into the office. I always see you all around London when it comes to Facebook and Instagram. And actually, by the way, one of the things I love is actually sort of revisiting all these places in London through your eyes and through social media. So tell me, Hugo, how what was it you were doing before estate agency?
Well, before estate agency, I was a banker for many years, but specific to real estate finance. So I feel like that's given me a really strong background in structuring real estate deals and negotiating and just really analyzing transactions in the market. But along the way, I've bought property, I've flipped property, I've even taken interior design classes. So I found that I was really passionate about residential properties and individual properties. And then I got the opportunity to move to London to work for an architect in a CFO role. Got here, absolutely loved London, and I've been here 7 years. And I think some of what you see in terms of my social media is just a real excitement and enthusiasm about living in London and trying to take people along the journey and showing it off, because as you and I both know, buying property is about buying into an area, community, and so if we can give people a sense of that lifestyle and what's happening and what makes London such an incredible city, then hopefully that gives them a better sense of things.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I certainly feel like I'm on a journey almost every day with you in terms of you going about town and everything else. I mean, coming from that financial background, obviously that's given you your background has given you a lot of skills in terms of negotiation and so forth, and the interior design as well. Well, what's your thoughts of estate agency now that you're actually in and out of the in the industry? What do you think about estate agency?
Well, I certainly think that the UK market has a lot of room to improve. Having grown up in the States, we're very used to both the buyer and the seller having an agent representing them. And I definitely think that that's something that's lacking in this market, because what it gives both parties an opportunity to be equally represented. So I do think that we have an opportunity as independent estate agents to educate our clients, to be property consultants and really help them understand the value proposition in terms of what we bring. And I think that gets lost a lot of times. I think the traditional model as it stands is really focused on, high street agent and knowing perhaps a brand, but not knowing the individual that's selling your home, not knowing what they bring to the table, not knowing what they know and how they get to know you and what your situation is. So I feel really excited about the opportunity, because when we do get to sit down with someone, our questions are often around what is driving your move, what is the motivation, what is the time frame, because those things impact how we can help position your property and help you achieve your goal. And I think that that's something that, again, is lacking in terms of the conversation, in terms of your typical high street agent, but that leaves a gap for us. And I think that that's a gap that we can certainly step into and help bring people along and create a customer experience that's actually far superior.
Absolutely. I mean, there are a couple of things actually there that I pick up on. One of them is certainly the consultancy side of things. A lot of people feel that what an estate agency does is just grab certain properties, slap them onto the portals online, and then sit back and wait for the calls to come in. And certainly that's not the way to sell property, at least not to sell properties for the highest amount of money, and make sure that the process is very smooth. So it's the consultancy side of things that's very much what we do, and we do very, very well.
Because it's a very stressful, transaction, and a lot of the feedback is often that people, and that's why estate agents just have such a bad reputation, because that process hasn't been good for the client, for the seller, or sometimes even the buyer. So we've got that opportunity to help people recognize that it's not just what you do, but it's also how you do it. But obviously it is for the end goal of achieving the best possible price for our sellers, and I work a fair amount with buyers as well, and it's getting them the best value as well. And if we can do our homework, but also get to know them as individuals and give them the respect and the attention that they deserve, and I feel honored for the opportunity to work in service for them, and hopefully that comes across.
Absolutely, and the training is so important. And you and I both coming from an association with Keller Williams, which is named number one training company in the world for several years. That's something that we pass on to our clients in terms of consultancy. Going back to buyers, I know you work with a lot of buyers, and there seems to be this common misconception about when it comes to buyers, it's only for luxury properties. And that's just not the case, is it? I mean, a lot of people out there that have mid-range budgets to buy properties in London, they want that consultancy side of things.
Yeah, and I would actually say your first-time buyer is actually the person who would benefit most, right? Because they've never been through the process, and it can be very stressful. And I can argue that they've actually lost out on opportunities because they haven't had somebody guiding them, right? And you can almost talk yourself in and out of situations that aren't good for you. But if you've got somebody who is advocating, who's got a fiduciary responsibility to you, who knows the market, who's doing the homework, and is really advocating on your behalf, right? So that already creates, I think, a better situation. So you're right, people do seem to perceive the service as a luxury item. However, I would argue that we more than make up for the fee we charge, right? Because if I can get you the best value out there, help you understand the whole dynamics of buying, to help you understand who is the best mortgage broker to talk to, what are the programs that are out there, what is the difference between a leasehold and a freehold, what should you be considering, what areas to consider, what's the most important thing for you. Those are things that, especially sometimes when you're working with couples, they have different perceptions of what the end result should be, and again, you can be that bridge. So I argue, and I think we've got clients who would tell you that we're more than worth the value of that service and improving that process for them.
Absolutely. And going back to the different types of backgrounds that we have here in Keller Williams, I think that's what makes our team so dynamic. I mean, you come from a financial background. I know Simon comes from a legal background, and all those skills that we have and to actually bring into the market centre is just really, really great.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is not just the backgrounds, but also the areas, because you and I have worked on deals together.
Absolutely,
Simon and I have worked on deals together, and that's something else we bring to the market, is that I feel like we can cover London, right? So I can bring you in and perhaps your areas of specialty, and I can work with some other agents, but we together will be the partnership team that delivers the best service for our clients.
100%. I was going to wrap up with that, but I think pretty much you did a very good job on that, and that's the intentions of these videos, is to actually show the different personalities in the different areas that we cover. And so on that note, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. So
it's my
Ugo, Onyx Consultancy.
Ugo with Onyx Property Consultants.
Associated by Keller Williams. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Ugo, for joining me. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.